would want that. So it's not as scary as people think it is. It's not as scary as people think it is, as far as like what Republicans can do. Like, and even then, that psychotic bullshit that they do would only apply to federal contractors. Okay? You understand? So, like, even if a Republican administration came in and they were like, all right, we're no longer doing $15 minimum wage, which would be insane. But let's say they did that successfully. If this legislation passed successfully, they would not be able to overturn it with an executive order. They would have to literally go back to the drawing board and try to remove federal minimum wage. They would only be able to remove it at the federal level from contractors that work with the federal government. Okay, just like Joe Biden already increased the minimum wage to $15 already. Do you understand? Like, think about it this way. Joe Biden already increased the minimum wage to $15 for federal contractors. Okay, because that's something he can do right now with an executive order. Whereas increasing it to $15 minimum wage across the board is going to be a legislative agenda item. It is impossible for him to do so with an executive action. It's still so low, and the minimum wage varies by county. Yes, of course it's still low. Here's the main pick of the $15 minimum wage bill: $9.50, $11 up on each year until 2025. Yeah, here it is. Remember, there's a difference between the federal minimum wage, which is what this bill is doing, and the minimum wage increase for federal contractors, those who work with the federal government. So the second part has already happened with an executive action. Except otherwise provided, not less than $9.50 an hour beginning of the effective date under Section 7 Raised Wage Act of 2021, $11 an hour beginning of 1 year, $12.50 an hour beginning 2 years, $14 an hour beginning 3 years after such effective date, $15 an hour beginning 4 years after such effective date, and beginning on the date that is 5 years after such effective date and annually thereafter. The amount determined by Secretary under subsection determination based on increase in the median hourly wage of all employees. Section 6 of the Fair Labor Standard Act of 1938 is amended by adding the end to the following: not later than each date that is 90 days before a new minimum wage determined under subsection is to take effect. The Secretary shall determine the minimum wage to be in effect under this subsection. So it's not automatically adjusted to inflation, which isn't good. Some countries do that already, but it gives the power to the secretary to potentially increase it in a periodic basis. So that's not bad either. Hawaii already has $10 minimum wage. Guys, here's the thing. The minimum wage is already higher, right? In some places, in some states. It doesn't matter, because a federal increase of the minimum wage to $15 an hour is good for fucking Alabama. It's good for Kentucky. It's good for places that will never, ever in a million years ever give people that kind of money. It's good for West Virginia. But that will also be good for California, for Illinois, for Colorado. It'll be good for places like Seattle, specifically, where the minimum wage might be even higher already than that federal minimum wage. But now you have more of a bargaining power as workers to be able to advocate for more. Workers groups will be able to push for higher wages now by pointing to the federal minimum wage and saying, look, this shit might be living wage for Alabama, but it certainly isn't for Los Angeles. Do you understand? That's the point. So looking at this and saying this is bad legislation is not accurate. Okay, you can say that it's not enough, and that's understandable because it's not enough. It's barely making ends meet. Okay, it's barely making ends meet. It's barely lifting up people that are currently making $7.25 an hour to a point where they can actually at least kind of survive in a lot of states. Which is, it's gross. That's just straight up fucking gross, okay? But having said that, this will allow people to advocate for even higher wages in other states where they already have higher wages. You get it? It's not good enough for California. Yes, I know it's not good enough for California, my friend. I know. I understand. But Californians and California organizers can now use the increase in minimum wage and the popularity behind it to already push for higher wages, like Florida already did. You understand? On a ballot measure, Florida already passed their minimum wage to their minimum wage hike to $15 already, and that's fucking Florida, brother. Like, currently, the California minimum wage is $12 an hour. Okay? The California minimum wage at this moment is $12 an hour. Already. Not enough. But with an increase of a minimum wage increase going from $7.25 to $9.50, for example, or $11, no, minimum wage for employers with 25 employees or less is $12 an hour. Minimum wage right now, like literally right this moment in the state of California, minimum wage for employers with 25 employees or less is $12 an hour. Minimum wage for employers with 26 employees or more is $13 an hour. Next year, it's going to increase to $13.14. And then the year after that, in 2022, it's going to increase to $14.15. And by 2023, it's supposed to be $15 an hour across the board. Okay? That's what it's supposed to, that's how it works in California, because these initiatives have been pushed for already. Do you understand? But that was before, when the federal minimum wage was much, much lower. Do you understand? Oh, wait, we're in January 2021. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Dude, my brain is so fucking dumb. I'm still... Oh, wow, I had a brain fart moment. Oh, Jesus Christ. We are in 2021. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, last year was a mulligan, so it doesn't count. Okay? Last year was a mulligan. It doesn't count. I totally forgot that we're in fucking 2021. For a second, I was thinking we were still in 2020. Okay. Shit. All right. The zit's just taking up so much of my brain power right now. So anyway, so you have to look at it. So you have to look at it from that point of view. It's not, if you live in a state where your minimum wage is already higher than this, then it's clearly not for you. But it does have a secondary impact for you.